The eternal struggle between the strongest clans of the 8 ancient clans. The Shao clan, once the greatest of them all, was nearly destroyed, but Shao Yan will one day restore its bloodline and former glory. At present, the strongest can be considered the ancient Gu clan and the HUN clan. Which of them is stronger? What would happen if the HUN clan launched its full power against the ancient Gu clan? A very interesting question, hiding many secrets behind it. Let's take a closer look. But first, please leave a like and write a comment to support this video and the channel as a whole. So, to put it in general terms, the Gu clan and the HUN clan were the supreme clans among the 8 ancient clans. Both had ancestors who had once reached the realm of Do Di and had passed down the Do Di bloodline. However, the bloodline of a god was not eternal. It gradually weakened over time, a matter that troubled many clan leaders. Without the Do Di bloodline, a supreme clan would exist only in name, and the younger generations would not be able to grow rapidly, which meant the clan was destined for decline and eventual disappearance. And this is only the beginning. For example, 3 of the major families, the Shi clan, the Ling clan, and the Yao clan, all faced a decline in power as their Do Di bloodlines became weaker. It is said that the patriarchs or leaders of the Shi clan and the Lei clan were merely 5-star Do Shangs, or even lower. Their talented disciples only possessed average abilities, and it was unclear whether they could even reach the saint level at all. The Shao clan, once incredibly powerful, was defeated by the HUN clan. That battle also allowed the HUN clan's god bloodline to temporarily continue. However, HUN Tiandi received severe injuries, and the HUN clan weakened significantly at that time. The Shao clan was nearly destroyed, and the HUN clan suffered great losses. Against this backdrop, the ancient Gu clan emerged as the winner and naturally became the strongest. So how great was the difference in strength between the Gu clan and the HUN clan? First, let's examine the peak combat strength. There is no doubt that both HUN Tiandi of the Soul Hall and Gu Yuan were peak 9-star saints, Do Shang. Their souls had both reached the Emperor level. Therefore, the outcome of their battle inevitably ended with both sides heavily injured. The HUN clan also possessed the Void Devouring Flame. This heavenly flame was truly at the early stage of the 9-star Do Shang level. Among all the ancient clans, only Shao Xian, HUN Tiandi, and Gu Yuan surpassed it. But now, since the supreme masters have already fallen, the Void Devouring Flame has become the supreme existence left in this world. Furthermore, the HUN clan had 4 great elders, each having reached the level of 8-star Saint Do Shang, unmatched experts on the same level as the heads of the Yan and Lei clans. Thus, the highest combat strength of the HUN clan included HUN Tiandi, a 9-star saint, the Void Devouring Flame, as well as 4 8-star saints, known as the 4 Great Elders, and 6 7-star Do Shangs. Altogether, there were 15 high-ranking saints, making the HUN clan extremely dangerous and overwhelmingly powerful. In contrast, the Gu clan had no hidden forces. Apart from the leader Gu Yuan, a 9-star saint, there was only 1 8-star Do Shang, the Black Destruction King. They also had 3 ancient immortals at the 7-star saint level. Although the 3 immortals of the Gu clan possessed powerful cooperative abilities, they were still outnumbered, for the HUN clan had 4 such 7-star saints. As for the lower-level saints, they were hardly worth mentioning, since such experts could not affect the overall balance. Thus, we see that the Gu clan only had 5 high-ranking saints, Gu Yuan, the Black Destruction King, and the 3 immortals. Their combined strength was less than 1/3 of the HUN clan's might. This made the HUN clan the foremost among the 8 ancient clans. As for the ancient Void Dragon clan, after the disappearance of the old Dragon Emperor Zhu Kuan, the clan split apart, losing its highest strength. Everything had relied solely on his personal deterrence, and so their power became far weaker compared to the HUN and Gu clans. Judging by overall power, the Gu clan clearly could not compare to the HUN clan. Then why did the HUN clan not seize the position of absolute ruler? For HUN Tiandi, the title of ruler of the Central Plains was always meaningless. His ambition was to conquer the entire Do Qi continent. Moreover, after the destruction of the Shao clan, the situation was still in turmoil, so caution was required. The news of HUN Tiandi's grave injuries was deliberately spread only to calm the others. So does this mean that despite all their strength, the HUN clan simply remained idle? Absolutely not. For centuries, they have slowly but steadily advanced toward Han Tiandi's ultimate goal. Quite recently in the series, there was mention of the disappearance of one of the 8 ancient clans, the Ling clan. Their realm, or hidden space, suddenly closed. And when it reopened, everyone discovered that the Ling realm was completely empty. Not a single person remained. Even the descendants of the Ling clan had all vanished. This was far too strange, especially considering that several million people had lived within the Ling realm, and all these people had simply vanished into thin air. Among the ancient clans, great disputes immediately arose. Although the Ling clan had been declining, their foundation had not disappeared. Among the 6 clans that remained, only 2 clans had the ability to annihilate the entire Ling clan without anyone noticing. These were the Gu clan and the Han clan. At first glance, the Gu clan was the strongest among the 6 remaining clans. No one doubted the immense power they held. But if we describe the Han clan, this was the clan with the longest history among the 8 ancient clans. It had existed since ancient times. They were extremely mysterious, and even the other ancient clans dared not claim that they truly understood their strength. Although the Han clan never showed signs of being the strongest during the Great Wars of old, anyone who carefully remembered those events would realize that the Han clan had never once fallen into disadvantage. They had never been the victors, nor had they been the defeated. From a certain perspective, this was terrifying in itself. As a result, even the Gu clan maintained a healthy fear of this mysterious ancient clan. These 2 clans represented the strongest factions on the entire Do-Chi continent. Aside from them, no other faction had the ability to completely wipe out the Ling clan without leaving a trace. The 6 ancient clans did not launch a full-scale war. With the passing of time, this matter seemed to be forgotten by the others. Yet some people knew that a rift had formed among the 6 clans, and all began to act with greater caution. The disappearance of the Ling clan caused a great uproar in the Central Plains. But we know the truth. This was the work of the Han clan. In the end, the rivalry between the Gu clan and the Han clan was far more than a contest of strength. It was a struggle shaping the fate of the entire Do-Chi continent. The hidden schemes of the Han clan prove that true power lies not only in might, but also in patience and ambition. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments who you think is the strongest among the 8 ancient clans. Please give this video a like and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.